All right, hello everyone. Welcome to our live Facebook meditation. Looks like we might be waiting for a few people to hop on to the screen. I don't know what I say. Oh, hi Leah, welcome. Hi Austin. Yay. Hi Catherine. Katie. All right. Hi Kathy. Ella. What a fun way to get to meditate together, even though we cannot be together this evening. Hi. All right. It's very different being live and filmed versus being over the phone. So this is a fun experience. All right, so I wanted to gather everyone here today so that we could do some energy work not only on ourselves but also on the planet. And amidst the chaos and the hysteria and the panic, I wanted to offer another way to approach the world events right now with regards to what's happening with COVID-19 and the virus, and how we can work with that and transmute it and transform it and create it into a world mock-up that can bring about some positive and beautiful change for all of us involved. So yes, it looks like we have a few more people hopping on. Welcome, glad you guys are all here today. Before we get started, I just wanted to check in and see how everybody is doing with any possible fears or concerns that you might have with regards to the virus. So any comments are appreciated. Maybe you could type one or two words that describes your experience right now. I know that today I went to Whole Foods to get a salad and it was definitely crazy making in there. There was everybody running around buying up everything on the shelves, and I was just going to get a box of lettuce, and I decided maybe I'd get a bigger box of lettuce. Either way, it still took me about an hour to stand in the line to check out, and I'll tell you, sitting there in that energy at Whole Foods with all the people running around, buying up the whole store and filling up whole grocery store carts, I definitely got to use my tools and stay grounded and check in with my third chakra and my aura bubble and make sure that, yeah, I had some amusement as I was walking through the store. I definitely enjoyed smiling at people as I was walking through the store, and I'll tell you, it was amazing how few people smiled back today, and that just seems to be where a lot of people are vibrating, and I truly see that we can shift that vibration by being more light, being more amused, staying conscious, staying grounded, and seeing if we can make this into an event that we can all transmute. I am of the older generation, and I am realizing that there are a lot more people here. I thought there was just like 8 people, and you guys are actually commenting, so excellent. So
that confusion,
yes.
And panic in the grocery store.
Confusion and panic in the grocery store. Yes. Oh, you almost had a panic attack in the grocery store. Yes. I watched a lot of people panicking in the grocery store today with my big box of lettuce that I decided to upgrade to instead of buying up the whole store. Confused. D is experiencing zero fear. Not so concerned. Excellent. Weird panic buying. Time to rise and shine, yay! Clearing scarcity pictures, yes. Definitely it is an odd thing as an American living in this society to go to a grocery store with empty shelves. That is very, very odd and different. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do some work. So if you guys would, go ahead and step into your meditative space. And it looks like we have pretty much all psychics here on board. So I'm going to be using a bit more psychic ease. Oh, not everyone.
We've got some people sharing the stream.
Oh, okay. All right. So I will be sure to work at all levels. Yay. Okay. We have Christina and Melanie here this evening who are helping to read all the stuff on the screen and keep me, understanding what's supposed to be happening technically. So, all right, let's do this. If you guys would, go ahead and close your eyes. And go ahead and put your feet flat on the floor. And one of the basic principles or spiritual tools that we use here at the Boulder Psychic Institute is called a grounding cord. And the basic premise of a grounding cord is that it connects you to whatever you would like to ground to. And so if you think of an electrical circuit, that electrical circuit connects to ground. So if there's an excess surge or charge of energy, that energy will just release down to the center of the planet or release to ground. One of the things that I've been observing with those of us who are nervous and panicked or matching the hysteria vibration on the planet is that I've been observing people grounding to all sorts of odd things these days. So I've been watching people ground to the media, where they literally have like a tube or a cord that's connecting their body to the media or whatever news source that they feel like they can trust. I've been watching people ground to the stock market or to money. And man, that is definitely a wild ride right now with regards to the stocks going up and down. And so they're literally making a connection to the stock market, meaning when the stock market goes up, the body feels like it's going up. When the stock market goes down, the body matches that and has a similar experience. I've been watching people ground to the medical community, wanting to know when is the next vaccine or how to keep themselves healthy. And the thing about that is they don't really know, and they're definitely in a discovery process. So if you're wanting to feel more centered and like you have an answer, grounding to the medical community is definitely not going to be an answer. People have been grounding to the government. Heaven forbid. People have been grounding to that space and wanting answers, wanting more direction, and as has become apparent, the government is also kind of scrambling to keep up with the virus. And so if you want to feel like you're scrambling, right, then you want to ground to the government. But if you want to feel stable and secure and solid, you want to ground to the center of the planet. So if you all would, I'd like you to imagine a big tube of energy connecting your hips to the core of the earth. And so that tube of energy looks kind of like a big skirt that connects your hips, or like wraps around your hips. And then that skirt, if you will, that tube of energy just drops down through the floor and it connects right into the core of Mother Earth. And I'd like y'all to do the best you can to visualize your body instead of connecting to all those other things. The media, the stock market, government, the medical community, hysteria, other people. Grounding to other people is definitely not the most stable option. Here's the thing, Mother Earth has always been here. She will always be here, way after probably we're here, okay? And so she is a very stable thing to connect into. She's not going up and down. She's not hysterical. She's the most nurturing energy here that we can find. And so I'd like you to visualize that tube of energy connecting your hips to the center of the planet. And I'd like you to just take a deep breath in and allow any energy that's been getting you all stirred up, getting you uncomfortable in the body, or not. It looks like there's been some people who have been feeling pretty okay with all this, but if there's anything to release, I want you to just breathe and imagine that energy falling right down your body and right down that grounding cord. You kind of want to visualize it going ker-plunk, 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 ker-plunk. It's kind of like an energetic toilet, just to release. Yes, we don't want to be spiritually constipated, because that in the body, that constipation, physical constipation, can create problems, and energetic constipation too. Same thing, there's a correlation there. Good. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this grounding cord to heal ourselves. And I'd like you to just have the intention that if there's any hysteria that's in your body, wherever you've been grounding to hysteria or becoming it, I'd like you to just invite that energy to fall right out of your body and right down your grounding cord. We're going to get super grounded today, super connected to Mother Earth. And then if there's any seriousness, ways that you've been taking yourself, other people, other things, the virus, the lack of toilet paper, if you've been taking any of that seriously, would you go ahead and with your intention let that fall right out of your body and right down that grounding cord. Just imagine gloops and globs of energy just falling right down. And for those of you who are students of the Institute, feel free to create and destroy some roses, release some energy for wherever you might have been unconsciously grounding to the media, to the medical community, to government, to stocks, to other people. Just clear those patterns that would have you to ground to anything other than Mama Earth. For those of you who are focusing very much on your grounding cord and releasing down that grounding cord, I also see that this is a very, very important time for all of us to stay super conscious, super aware. So if there's any energy in your body that won't let you stay conscious, maybe any swirling energy or kind of cloudy energy in your head that has it be difficult for you to think or to focus or to have some discernment around what's going on, go ahead and have that energy just fall right out of your body and right down your grounding cord. And lastly, right now, being super amused, trying to be as light as possible, cracking some jokes. That's gonna be our saving grace at this time. So if there's any energy that would keep you from just being amused, doesn't mean that you're gonna laugh at the grocery store when somebody's freaking out that they don't have enough food to buy, or that you're gonna laugh at people or whatever is going on for them. But you can definitely have that vibration of laughter within you. I find myself laughing all the time in here these days. So release down that grounding cord any energy that would keep you from your amusement. And just being light, keeping things at that light vibration. I oftentimes say that amusement is the universal solvent. Amusement is how you heal yourself, it's how you heal others, it's how you heal the planet. So just staying super light, if you would. All right, excellent. So that grounding cord is a great first step towards getting you nice and centered. We are not only humans, but we are human beings. So we have bodies, and we are also spirits who have these bodies. We are human spirits. And so what I really wanted to do is just reset everyone to, okay, you are a human body, ground to Mother Earth, connect in with those kind of earth, human body, physical elements. And then let's connect in with what I call the Supreme Being. Some people call that Source or God, Allah, whatever you want to call that energy, universal life force. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to do the best you can in this meditation to imagine a golden beam of light connecting in to the top of your head from the Supreme Being. So if you would, I'm going to call it the Supreme Being. You can call this energy that's omniscient, omnipotent, all-knowing, super forgiving, super neutral, super amused. I'm going to call it the Supreme Being. You can call it whatever you want. The Supreme Being is on everyone's side, looking out for everyone's best interest. Okay? So the Supreme Being can definitely give us some information. The Supreme Being can definitely give us an energy boost. The Supreme Being can definitely give us some healing right now. So with that gold beam connecting the top of your head to the Supreme Being, if you would, I'd like you to ask the Supreme Being to give you a healing. And I'd like you to visualize that like a gold beam of light just flushing through your body, just flowing through the body, and flowing down your torso and then right down that grounding cord. I'd like you to just let that golden energy just flush through the body. Just be like a nice gentle flush where that Supreme Being energy first is going to start by collecting up anybody else's energy that you might be working off of right now. So here at the Institute, we call it losing your space. If you lose your space or you find yourself disoriented or not knowing where you are, where you're at, where you want to go, how you want to proceed, how you want to handle the current situation here on the planet, the best way to find your space again is to have the Supreme Being cleanse out anybody else's energy from your body. So just let that golden flush, just really let that golden energy just flush right through the body and right down the grounding cord. Good. Would you also have the Supreme Being focus on flushing out any energy that would keep you from being the captain of your body, the captain of your life, where you really put on your own oxygen mask on before helping others, where you put yourself first. Right now, yes, it is very important to put yourself first and to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of your body, of your physical body, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies right now, you're going to be pretty useless to other people. So I'd like you to just have the Supreme Being just flush out any energy that would keep you from recognizing that you are the captain of your body and your life. You call the shots. You're the one who decides how things are going to go in your body and in your life. There's a lot of people out there that subscribe to the notion of destiny, and that is a vibration that we at the Boulder Psychic Institute don't necessarily subscribe to, because it sets up an energy in your space of victimhood, where it's somebody else's fault or somebody else decided what your destiny is or how things are supposed to go. And here we'd like to be the victor, not the victim. And so we choose to recognize that we're choosing our own destiny. We're making it happen. So have the Supreme Being release out any of that energy that would say that you can't call the shots. And as the captain of your vessel, you really have to put your first self first. You got to really take care of yourself. And not to say that we're not going to then be able to take care of other people. We're going to take this meditation into healing the planet here. But you really got to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. All right. Good. What I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to ask the Supreme Being to plug that golden beam of light directly into what I call your master cell. Now your master cell resides right at the back of the head, right there kind of at the occipital ridge, the back of your head back there. I'm trying to show it on the screen for those who don't know. And your master cell is a little sphere of energy that holds the information of how all of your other cells are going to be generated. So some of you may or may not know that your body's always creating new cells in the form of stem cells. And the roadmap from which all of those stem cells are created is created from what I call the master cell. That master cell resides right there at the back of the occipital ridge. So what I want you to do now is I'd like you to go ahead and have the Supreme Being just connect that gold beam of light right into your master cell. I'd like you to ask the Supreme Being to start to give your master cell a healing. So letting that golden energy just flow right into that master cell, right into that little cell that is the template for how all your other cells are created. Now I want you to just let that Supreme Being gold just start to charge up your master cell. And you might observe that master cell starting to fill up with more and more gold energy. And as it gets super filled up, super charged up with gold, that master cell is going to start to spin. And just continue to allow that gold beam of light from the Supreme Being to charge up and heal your master cell. And just what I want you to do is I want you to let that master cell start to spin and spin and spin. Looks like we have a question, and yes, that that master cell just spin. Yes, beautiful. As that master cell spins, what you're going to start to see is that that master cell is going to start to spin in a way that it starts to make what I call a toroid, well, everyone calls it a toroid shape, but for those of us who don't know what that shape is, that's like a donut shape. So it's going to kind of split and merge into like a toroid shape. And what I want you to do is just let that master cell continue to spin and spin until it starts to look like a donut. The toroid shape is not only the shape of the whole universe, it is a shape that promotes what I call infinite power. There's actually even some scientists here who have used this shape with some copper wires to create an infinite power source, an infinite power generator. So that spin of the toroid can spin and spin and spin, and it needs no fuel for it to continue to spin. So right now, what you're doing is you are having the Supreme Being charge up your master cell so that it has infinite energy, infinite resources, where all your DNA, all of the mitochondria, everything in that cell has infinite energy, infinite resources for your body. Yes, and continue to imagine that golden beam of light flowing into that master cell spinning in that toroid shape, that donut shape. I'd like you to just notice how that's feeling on your body. Some of you guys are starting to vibrate to the higher and higher, brighter and brighter right now. I want you to just breathe. And just decide that you're going to let your body have these changes that you're making. We're not only changing that master cell, but when you do this, what it does is it updates the genetics of the body. Through various reasons, we've been changing the dynamics here on the planet, and hence our bodies have to change to compensate or to be able to work with the changes that we've been creating on our planet with regards to various EMFs or chemicals that we've been producing. The bodies have to update. So with the spin of your master cell, let that also update the DNA in that master cell to be able to work with the present time energies, vibrations, circumstances that we've created here on the planet. Yes. Yes, that looks good, everyone. All right. What I'd like you to do is just let that master cell continue to spin with that vibration, with that DNA updated and charged. That master cell is now set at infinite resources. Yes. All right, and what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to, with your intention, have every other cell in your body start to match your master cell. So having all of your blood cells and all of your cells in your organs, the cells in your skin, even the cells in your nails and your hair, have it start to match this master cell, meaning all of the cells in your body are going to be vibrating at infinite resources. Just let that gold beam from the Supreme Being continue to fuel You create that spin in that master cell, and let all of your cells in your body just start to match that. And it goes like ding, 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 ding. Beautiful. Some of you guys are starting to feel a lot more supercharged, a lot more awake. As I'm looking at you all, you're looking a lot more clear. What would it be like for your body and for you to walk through your day, walk through the world, interacting with other people, with your body set at infinite resources? That body has all the resources it needs, has all the energy it needs, but the body's resourceful. The body can update to the current circumstances on the planet, and it can manage that and stay healthy and stay cohesive, coherent through all the changes we've had so far and all the changes that will be to come. There's going to be a lot more change here. Excellent. And if you will, recognize that every new cell, all of the stem cells that get created in your body, that then get designated as blood cells or lung cells or cells that go to different parts of your body, every new cell from here on out that's going to get created is going to get created according to the template that you just reset here with your master cell. Excellent. Breathe. Just continue to let that spin. All right. With that energy continuing to spin and your body vibrating at infinite resources, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go ahead and I'd like you to imagine the planet out in front of you. Now that you've worked on yourself, you've brought yourself up to a nice high vibration, let's go ahead and do what we're all capable of doing. Let's heal the planet. So if you would, I'd like you to imagine Mama Earth out in front of you. And Mama Earth can't ground to herself, but she can ground to the sun. So what I'd like everyone to do is I'd like y'all to imagine a big tube of energy, because it's Mama Earth, connecting to the sun. And that's going to set up a similar situation, just like your grounding cord with your body to the center of the planet. And then if you would, with your intention, for those of you who are really good at visualizing, visualize this the best you can. Imagine any of that fear and hysteria just draining right out of the planet and right down that grounding cord to where the sun can just take that energy and burn it up and transmute it. Simply grounding Mother Earth to the sun is a great way to heal the planet. I do it quite frequently because even Mama Earth needs a little boost from time to time to help her to release what's not working for her also. And right now, kind of the balance on the planet is tipping a little bit, and she could use a little bit of a rebalance. If you would also go ahead and, with your intention, have any energy of unconsciousness released from the planet so that the planet can be set at a vibration of consciousness. And If it's set at consciousness, more people are likely to match that and become more and more conscious over time. And lastly, would you imagine any energy draining out of Mama Earth that has to do with seriousness? Letting go of that seriousness, just seeing if we can lighten up the planet, bringing the planet to some more amusement, to some more lightness. Yes, there are serious things happening. There are people who are getting sick and some that are actually dying and leaving the planet. And that's a big deal, and I'm not diminishing that in any way. And even for those who are sick and even for those who are dying, consider that if the only energy that's surrounding them is seriousness and heaviness, that's a really tough vibration to be in when you're transitioning over to the other side, the body's dying, or if you're trying to get healthy, maybe you're at the hospital and you're trying to get better. So let's just see if we can lighten up the planet by releasing all that serious energy. Excellent. All right, breathe and just check in with yourself. You all got very focused in on Mother Earth. I just want you to bring your attention back to yourself. Check your grounding cord on your body. And just check that the Supreme Being is still plugged into your into your master cell. Having that master cell spin with your genetics, your DNA, spinning, 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 continuing to get that healing. Very good. Yes. Bring your attention back to Mother Earth. And would you connect Mother Earth up to the Supreme Being, imagining a gold beam of light beaming down from the Supreme Being to the planet. We're going to do the same thing together with our group power. We do things in a group of energy, it makes it that much stronger. Yes. So if you would, do the best you can to imagine that gold beam of light from the Supreme Being just healing and supercharging Mama Earth. Just watch the best you can as that gold energy starts to fill the planet with gold. Filling it up, filling it up. Yeah. Until the whole planet is just saturated with that golden energy. And at some point, same thing, we'll start to see the energy of Mama Earth spinning and spinning into that toroid donut shape. And with the power of our group energy, let's get Mama Earth vibrating again at infinite resources. Imagining the planet spinning in gold, the golden donut shape. Good, that happened really quick, good job. All right. So let's just let that continue to run, let that energy continue to spin. And I want you guys to just sit back and relax, and I just want you to do the best you can to observe How is that affecting the planet? How is it affecting various countries? How is it affecting the bodies on the planet? Because here's the thing, there is this virus, it has been deemed a pandemic, and it is definitely what I would call a global shift that's starting to happen. Here at the Institute, we call anytime there's a big change a growth period. So the planet, the whole world, is in a growth period right now. We're, to some degree, being forced to change, forced to shift some of our ways, shift some of our beliefs. It's kind of like for those people who weren't already doing their energy work and enjoying their growth periods, like I know so many of you Boulder Psychic Institute students do, no matter how painful and uncomfortable those growth periods are. Well, other people are experiencing the same thing right now. And they're not necessarily as equipped to be able to handle it. Right? And so for us to be able to give a healing to the planet, bring it to lightness, and just remind the planet and everyone who's on it that we have infinite resources. We are infinite. You're an infinite spiritual being. Mama Earth is also infinite. She's going to be here for such a long time. Maybe, just maybe, we can remind all of those people who are in the growth phase right now. They're in the thick of it. Just like all of us, psychics too. We're all in it too. We're all in this together. But maybe, just maybe, they can start to match our vibration that we're starting to create. Vibration that says, all right, let's take change, and like a bull, just take it by the horns, and let's just embrace it, and let's go with it. And we don't have to be so serious about it. We can have some lightness, we can have some amusement, and we're probably going to fumble a lot along the way. And if we all recognize that we have infinite resources, then we can recognize, well, if we fumble a little bit, that's okay. We'll all fumble and get there together. We'll all get there through this change. All right. So if you will, I'm just kind of curious, for those of you, what are you noticing with regards to this toroid formation, the infinite resources? How are you noticing this shifting the energy on the planet, in various countries, various regions, or with the people on the planet? Feel free to open your eyes for a moment. Here at the Institute, when we teach classes live, I always like to have the students share and participate. This is me trying to create that vibration here through Facebook. All right. Good. Yes. So we are light. Excellent. Good. All right. If nobody wants to comment, really fine. I know that I'm watching the toroid formation on the planet. I'm seeing a few people where their master cells are starting to do the same thing that our master cells are doing. So it's kind of like I'm seeing these little master cells and these people on the planet kind of light up one at a time. Just ding, ding, ding. And at some point that will start to kind of spread and other people will match that.
He's noticing the toroidal field.
Yes. Yes. came at once. Thank you.
Yes, they last.
More connection to nature. Yes, the sparks of light. Yes. All the awakenings happening. Oh, yes, Risa. The rivers are kind of glowing. And even the cells in the water, you can start to see those starting to spin at the infinite resource vibration. Yeah. Ooh, Austin saw some people. Right. Yeah. So unconsciousness leads, feeling stronger, says Anne. Woo-hoo. Yes, Italy's lightening up. Yep. Mm-hmm. Big deep breath for the world, a lot more room to breathe. Yes. Beautiful. Good job, everyone. Psychic high five. This is our social distancing high five. Right. Good. And then if you would, I'd like you to just go ahead and disconnect the Supreme Being from Mother Earth. Disconnect that grounding cord and just let Mother Earth fly solo. Let her kind of breathe in the healing work that we just did. Yes, as Josephine would say, just letting all of the plants and elements and people reconnect, rejuvenate, align. Beautiful. All right, and then if you would, I'd like you to just bring your focus back to yourself for a few more moments. Visualize the Supreme Being connected in your master cell and that toroid spin. And just take a few more moments really focusing on letting your body match this infinite resource vibration. On a soul level, you're infinite. You're eternal. You're not going anywhere. And you can bring that into the body and remind your body, yes, there are infinite resources. I'm never stuck. I'm never lacking. I always have enough. It's all going to be fine. Excellent. Good. And then if you would, go ahead and have the Supreme Being disconnect from your life. Yes. And then just send the Supreme Being back to Source, Supreme Being, or however you see that. And then I'd like you to just sit there for a few moments with your eyes closed, your body still grounded. The best way to walk through the world, especially right now, all the time as a matter of fact, is to stay grounded. Grounded, grounded. Mother Earth isn't going anywhere. So if you want to feel stable, centered, connected, ground Mama Earth. Just notice how your body feels. Some of you, your bodies are kind of coming off that supercharged. Let it just kind of settle, integrate, breathe, relax. We have Orlando here. Their dog seems to be less stressed. My dog was sitting here, snoring away just now. Little Fletcher. All right, excellent. When you feel comfortable, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Go ahead and stretch. Open your eyes. Just kind of move that body around and just let your body have this new vibration of this genetic update in all those cells. Infinite resources. Does anybody have any comments or questions? We can kind of like asking the psychic a question about what's going on the planet, or it can be about that. We began to ask at the beginning where she wanted to reach out to other people and help people, but feels like it's not the best thing to do because they're not able to listen or hear. And what can I do instead? And one of the things that I've been saying throughout this epidemic is that this is not only a me problem, this is an us problem. This definitely concerns all of us. And over the many years, I've always iterated that as human beings, we are not just individuals, we're actually pack animals. And we tend to run with the pack. We tend to match the herd, if you will. And this is how this vibration of the virus has been spreading so quickly, where we do match. And being that I can kind of sit back and get the macro view, get the bigger picture, this just really validates that perspective that, yeah, we are pack animals. We do match each other, okay? With that said, we can match the virus, or we can match a vibration that's not going to be so healthy. We can match stress and hysteria and anger and fear, or we can choose a different vibration. Okay? So being that those of you guys, especially BPI students, you know how to unmatch, you can have your own autonomy, you can have your own energetic space. We call that an aura bubble here at the Psychic Institute. You can unmatch from all that, set your own vibration, which is exactly what we just did. And then you can use the understanding that humans are pack animals to your advantage. So walk through the world in the vibration that you want other people to match. Okay? This is a common philosophy that I use with parenting. Just be the role model of using your spiritual tools, and those kids, they'll follow along, they'll start to match. Okay? So that answer to your question, Amanda, is be the role model, be the spiritual leader, and you don't have to say anything to do it, just do it, okay? Those around you will start to match, or they'll kind of go away, but that means that there's more room for those who want to flock towards you, that there will be room for those people too, okay? For you, Amanda, also being that you know how to gauge out what a person can hear, use your gauge and have some discretion around what you decide to share with other people or what you decide to talk about. So if you, it looks like Marlene asked a question that says, what does it mean if I saw someone in resistance to the healing that we did on the planet? That resistance, okay, is actually not their energy, okay? That is actually foreign energy in their space that is creating that resistance, okay? So one of the truths that I have come to realize over the many years is that our bodies were designed for success, and vibrations that are successful is really a part of the body's design, and vibrations that are unsuccessful is not a part of the body's design, okay? So resistance is a vibration that tends to create an unsuccessful vibration in the body, and so pretty much you can guarantee that when it looks like they're in resistance, that's actually not their energy. And so the best way to go about that as a healer, as a person who's working on their consciousness and doing their best to be as aware as possible, what to do with that is to really just see that person, see them in their light, see their energy, validate that, validate who they are, validate that success in their body, and then just recognize, oh, that's the resistance that's coming up. And whether it's getting triggered to come up and out, or whether it's just getting triggered for them to vibrate in that for a while, that's their path, and that's what they're up to. Asking about travel and whether it's a good idea to be traveling or not. I personally have decided not to travel for any time in the near future, mostly because for me, I want to stay pretty centered and focused here at the Institute here in Boulder so that I can be of support to our community, not only the greater community of Boulder, but also the communities elsewhere. It doesn't necessarily look, let's see, what do you see as far as foreign travel, our ability to move around the planet. With regards to our ability to move around the planet, and I'm not sure, Kathy, if you're asking that for the future or how that's going to look. It does look like there's going to be some time where there's some limited foreign travel, but that should open right back up again because no matter what, whether we like it or not, or whether it's a good thing for those of us human beings on the planet or not, big business definitely does rule things at this stage of the game, and big business does need that travel, and it does need people to be traveling, and for economies to be able to work with other countries. So I don't see that shutting down at any point in the future. Has anything like this happened before? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yes, the panic buying is definitely new. With regards to those who want a reading, this isn't necessarily the space to do a personal reading about relationship life, but we do offer psychic readings, and they're very reasonably priced, where you can do over the phone and in person, and especially if you have personal questions, they're only $30, and you can ask all things that you might have about relationships, or is with you personally. For sharing peach chant. Oh, Aaliyah, you don't know what you mean either. All right. I mean, we've definitely had illnesses, we've had the plague, we've had these sorts of things before, and the human race does survive. And the way I'm kind of going about this is, we're all going to go at some point or another. We're not going to live forever. And so if this is what takes me out, if this is how I end up going, the beauty is that I have some spiritual awareness, I have some spiritual tools that I can take with me over to the other side. And then, you know what? There's always the next lifetime. So there's always more time and more resources to be able to come back again and to try this again. Egypt, I mean, if you would like a read on that, that definitely looks like there's kind of a big black hole there. So you may not want to go to Egypt right now. It looks like you end up getting kind of sucked in and not able to like you would like to. Right. Oh, Phoenix. Can you say more about what you see for the growth period we as humans are going through? Yes. With regards to all of this and the virus, it looks like the growth period that we're all going through has to do with this vibration of um, this is a me problem versus this is an us problem, and really people becoming even more globally aware and more aware of what's happening outside of themselves. So I know here at BPI we talk a lot about growth periods and how we go through our growth periods, and we're going through our change, and we're changing all the time. And it's very easy as a person, or especially a psychic here at BPI, to get very focused in on your own growth period. And this pandemic is a way to kind of blow us out of that and have us start to see that it's not just our own growth periods, it's not just our own lives. There's actually a lot of other people involved, and that other people are in growth periods, and that to really open up that perspective, that it's not just so much all about me, right? We are a me culture, a me civilization, not just here in the West. There's other cultures who have that vibration too, and this is our opportunity to break through that and to start to recognize that we can only grow as far as the weakest link. Right? So the reason why the planet can't necessarily progress to these higher vibrations that some people would like us to vibrate towards is because there are people who are not able to get there and to vibrate there. So we can only kind of vibrate as high as the rest of the planet and the rest of the people here are able to. And so if we want to be able to vibrate higher and create some cool and new technologies and some amazing ways of being with each other and interacting with each other, we really do have to bring some of those people up with us so that we can manifest that. Mm-hmm. And I do see this as our mock-up, as our way of manifesting that, hopefully, right? If enough people can get the message and make the changes. Macy wants to know if you can continue doing the Supreme Being Master Cell meditation. Absolutely. On your own, or you can gather groups together. Please do that with yourself and with other people. I find that it's really important to update the Master Cell, and specifically the genetics, with how much we've been changing the planet. If we don't do that consciously, I don't see us mutating necessarily fast enough. And there is a level where we are changing the landscape of the planet with various chemicals and EMFs and radio waves and all sorts of technologies that we do need to keep our body kind of moving with those changes. It looks like my response that the planet is on kind of covers. Is COVID-19 an excuse to force vaccines on us? It could become that. That's not necessarily something that I have been looking at the moment, but Angela can definitely look at that a bit closer, but it could go there. Yes. It looks like Mary's asking about travel, and probably in a few months travel should be fine. By summertime, I don't necessarily see a problem with that. At this stage, I'm kind of seeing the arc of the virus, and we'll have a little bit of an arc right now, and I'm seeing that there's a high possibility of having the virus come back next winter. So maybe if you do want to get your travel in, summer would be the time to do it. And to those countries that are maybe more warm. The Italian Sea, that was beautiful. the things out of the way. It looks like Courtney's asking about how to practice connectedness and community without merging. And Courtney, have your rose up. You know how to do it. That question there, Courtney, and this isn't just you, and this is actually everyone else, and I do want to speak to this. And especially for those of you who are in the psych training here, it's easy to get to match the intellectual energy and get kind of cerebral about this stuff. So how do I not merge with other people? And we could think about this until forever and think, and we'll never come up with a solution, okay? So the place to focus is what you imagine, is remembering that what you imagine creates your reality, okay? And so you want to visualize what you want to have happen, and then you just set the tone, and then your body will match, other people will match, okay? So Courtney, my question back to you is how would you visualize not merging with other people? How would you visualize that? Well, maybe you have your aura bubble, you have your rose up, and you communicate, you use your words, and you also maintain your space at the same time. Okay? Giving those visual healings, just like what we did just now, is a great way to be a community member and to practice taking care of each other and taking care of our community. I like this too. Only a psychic would say, I like this growth period, it's so painful and difficult. That's because we all know that on the other side, we always come out brighter and more. All right. I'm glad that you enjoyed this today. Oh, yes. The master cell healing, it looks like Angela asked, the master cell healing will definitely help you boost your immune system. Some other things that you can do to help your immune system, you can clean out your pineal gland, you can clean your thymus gland. You'll often see apes, they kind of do this, and that's them resetting their thymus gland, which has a lot to do with the immune system. Energetically, you can also imagine kind of like a golden mask when you go out in public. I'm doing the whole face now because we want to also cover the eyes. You can kind of do like a little golden mask as like a filter for when you're out there in public. And of course, there's all the physical things that you can do to boost your immune system. Marlene, if you're looking at early December this year, we'll have to wait and see as that gets closer. But right now, I would say it may not be the best time to travel again. Any thoughts on how we healers should be stepping up? As I look at the energy of that question, Nicole, it looks like you're asking that question. The first thing that I see that's going on with you and anybody else who has a similar match to this question, I see a lot of expectation energy that just because you're a healer, you should be stepping up, you should be doing something, you have to do it. And here's the thing, if all you do is heal yourself and work on your own energy, recognizing that other people around you will match, that's pretty darn good. So for any of you else who are watching this video, if you're just feeling too stressed, too overwhelmed, and then the thought of being a healer and having to help everyone else just becomes like the straw that breaks the camel's back, don't worry about it. Take that pressure off. It's okay. As a healer, you don't have to be a super person. You don't have to be going above and beyond. I definitely see that if you vibrate in that lightness, Just like how we watched when we healed the planet, how like little lights were popping up. And then it was kind of like little light clusters were then kind of like lighting up around them. That's how that is going to be super effective. So don't feel like you should have to step up. Release those levels of expectations and go easy on yourself, because a lot of people are being very hard on themselves and each other right now. Can I post the doodles of the glands, Aaliyah? You can Google the glands. Science has definitely found those glands. Or Christina is happy to accommodate. Okay. How do we not match others that are sick? Again, you can have that golden mask. You can clean out your pineal. You can heal your thymus gland. The energy to look at for you, Austin, and it looks like actually almost everyone kind of went and has similar questions about how not to get sick. What I would recommend for those of you who are wanting to not get sick is to recognize that the energy behind that is actually the fear of getting sick. And so an exercise for you guys to do would be to neutralize that fear by blowing any pictures of what would happen if you do get sick, clearing any of the, fears or concerns or fantasies that might happen if you do get sick. Oh my goodness, if I get sick, this and this and this and this and this would happen. Well, is that really true? And can you get that more neutral? Can you get that more grounded so that whether you get sick or not, you can still stay light and amused and have your awareness, and you can move through that experience with the same ease and grace as you would if you didn't get sick. Okay. As I kind of see it, a lot of people are going to get sick. It's probably likely that it's going to happen. You're going to move through that if you have more amusement and if you don't let that fear create a mock-up that you don't want to have happen, or in more layman's terms will have you manifest something that you don't want. Okay. Put your energy into fear, because that's what you'll create. Okay. So my answer to you, Austin, is release that fear. If you get sick, that's okay. Okay. At least for me too, just an add-on to that, kind of where I'm sitting in some lightness and amusement, and this might turn some people off, but I'm also at the place of like, well, if I get sick and I die, yeah, there we go, right? It's my time, it's time to go. And then that means if other people go, I can spiritually help them transition over to the other side. I can go, hey, I transitioned, let me help you, for those who are passing. So I can be just as effective on this side as I can be on the other side. Can you say something about loneliness and isolation that humans are experiencing with this growth? That's a great question, Hannah. So that loneliness and isolation is, if I take all of the drama and maybe all of the therapeutic stuff out of loneliness and isolation, right, and I move that energy to the side, then as a psychic, what's left is the mechanics, okay? And what is the mechanics of loneliness and isolation? Very simply put, it means the soul is not in the body. Okay? The soul has left the body, the soul's left the building, okay? And the soul's not at home in the body, and the body vibrates in the vibration of loneliness. Hey, where'd you go? I miss you, come back. I feel so isolated and alone. And that is the mechanics of how loneliness and isolation happens in the physical body. Okay? So the remedy to loneliness and isolation, for those of you who know how to get in the body, is to simply call your soul back into the body, be in the body, be in the body, be in the body. So when you feel alone and isolated, that's the body saying, I miss you. Where'd you go? Come back. I can't do this alone. Okay? All right. With regards to other people who are in that vibration of loneliness and isolation, again, that concept of being the role model, Hannah, the more that you can walk around and be in your body and be enlightened, shine your light through your body as you walk around wherever you're at on the planet. I think you're in Ireland. Then other people might start to match that. Or if other people are saying, hey, I feel alone, I feel so isolated, and you're having a meal with them or having a conversation with them, then your job is to just focus as much as you can to get in your body, in your body, in your body. Wiggle your ears. Can you see your nose? Can you feel your toes be in your body? And see if those people who are having a difficult time with the isolation start to match you. And they may not say it right away, but you'll notice that the conversation shifts away from loneliness and isolation to other things. Okay. All right. Hallie asked a question about traveling home. And I'm going to answer this specifically for Hallie. It looks like that would be okay for you to travel home. The question is how soon would you want to get back to Colorado? And if you're okay with being with your family for a few months, then that is in affinity with you. How do I, is this your question? Staff is asking question now. How do I offer support to my family members who are out of state and having a hard time? Especially if we are really codependent and they ground to me. Melanie, and anybody else who's feeling the same way, here's the thing, practice non-resistance, give them your grounding cord. Just a few times a day, just give them your grounding cord. What you are stuck on and what other students, as I look at the popping auras in the group, is that what you guys are stuck on is the picture that says if people ground to me, they kind of just glom on and they're stuck to that grounding cord. Well, here's the thing, you can just release your grounding cord and just say, here you go, have it. And then you can give yourself a new one. And you might need to do that a few times a day, right? But give them your grounding cord, and that's going to start to shift that energy of codependence. Because when you get stuck, like, oh, they're stuck to my grounding cord, and I can't get them off, I can't get them to go away, blah, 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 blah. That is feeding the codependence, and that's essentially where you have the matching picture that you have to be codependent, that they have to be stuck to you, that you can't just go, well, sure, you can have my grounding cord. I can make you as many grounding cords as you want. How many do you want today? You want 20? You want 50 grounding cords? Sure, you can have them. I'm abundant. I have infinite resources. And that's going to shift that codependency away. Yes. The rest is the best service right now. Your post on the BPI Hub was awesome. For you, you have no problems with amusement and staying light, and the more that you can spread that and crack those jokes and keep people laughing and keep people having sex, sex, lots of sex. Students ask why I make so many sex jokes around here, and that's because it keeps the bodies happy, right? We think even just the thought of sex, even if you're not having sex actively with someone, but you think like, oh, sex, the body goes, yay, right? And that's going to keep the vibration in the body super light, okay? And whether you get the flu or the virus or anything, that lightness is what's going to have the body become less of the effect of the illness or virus or whatever it's contracted. fine. Oh, yes. Yes. Practice safe sex. And practice safe psychic interactions. Make sure you use your protection robes to protect from STPs, spiritually transmitted pictures. We are going to call it a wrap. Stay tuned because I do plan on doing a few more of these, and Christina is definitely excited to do all of this too. Do you guys want to come and wave goodbye? So everybody knows that I wasn't just talking to entities without bodies. These are my entity friends with bodies.
With bodies.
Yay! Thank you, everyone.
Bye.